Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Yes, you just saw some parts of the training of the Nigerian Super Eagles Team B, that's the home base Eagles at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, where the return leg for the 2025 CHAN Nations Cup will be coming up against the Black Galaxies of Ghana. We will get to that stories and many more on the show, but let's start from an interesting sport this morning. We go straight to cricket. That's the Nigerian Cricket Federation. They are putting everything in place to see that our team, under 19 women's team, that is the Yellow Greens Junior Women's Team, have the best of outing in Malaysia 2025. That is ICC under 19 Cricket Women's World Cup coming up in the next year in Malaysia. Yes, the team begins a final camping phase in Lagos. The final camping phase is going to be in two phases. The part of the two phases in the final campaign is where right now they have that camp will commence today in Lagos. They would have at least spend a week plus in Lagos before jetting out of the country for the last phase of the phase 2, the final phase of the 2025 cricket ICC cricket under 19 women's World Cup. And that the last phase will be coming up in India, and from India they will move straight to Malaysia. Yes, the choice of India and Malaysia have the same weather condition. It's just for the team to get acclimatized to the weather condition in Malaysia, and also India is one of the top countries when it comes to cricket. So going to that country, I think is a good choice from the Nigerian Cricket Federation, choosing India for the last lap of the preparation for the under 19 Cricket Women's World Cup. This is the second time Nigeria will be appearing in the cricket under 19 World Cup after the male counterpart did that. For the Nigerian girls, women, they qualified in September. Doing so well in the African qualifier. So we are looking forward to see that the team has the best of outing in Malaysia, and the team is being led by Kenyan coach Sarah Bakita, to be assisted by former senior Yellow Greens women captain Blessing 18, fantastic player who himself actually discovers some of these girls right now in the squad. So the Nigerian girls will be happy. Definitely they will be happy after picking up that ticket, and they are group in Group C. They'll be battling the likes of New Zealand, South Africa, and Samoa. So two African countries in the same group, that is South Africa and Nigeria. And this country, New Zealand, South Africa, these are top countries when it comes to cricket. So for the Nigerian girls, Nigerian women, they have a whole lot in their hands during this particular competition. The competition will start on the 18th of January 2025, and their first game, I beg your pardon, the first game for Nigeria is against Samoa on the 18th of January, before 2 days later, that is on the 20th precisely, they'll be battling New Zealand in their second game, and South Africa will be the last game they will play. So they have to get it right against New Zealand, which is their first game. Now, like I said, that campaign in Lagos will start today. It's starting today, and as we speak, some of the players are already in camp. Elibet, some of them landed in Lagos yesterday, and I believe it's going to be a full house before the end, before noon today. We're going to be having a full house in Lagos where these girls are preparing. Let's see what they will do in the World Cup. I don't know if Isaac Omidiji is ready for us this morning to join on the show. Okay, all right, Isaac, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. It's good having you, and Merry Christmas to you. I can still see you. You're still feeling the, let me say, the Yuletide appearance is still on you. You've eaten a lot. Let's start with cricket this morning. Our under 19 girls, they will start their final phase. The final phase is in two phases also, one in Lagos, and the last one is going to come up in India.
Good morning, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Compliment of the season. yes, it's still the Utah season. It's the Utah period, so we're doing everything to at least make ourselves happy. That's very, very important for our mental. What for the those games, those sporting activities in Nigeria that doesn't get the best of support, even from the government, not talk of the private sector. So you have to even commend those who are running this federation, trying to bring out the best out of these young girls. I'm even very impressed that we could get a Kenyan coach. Now, on the continent, I still rate Kenya ahead of
Isaac, we
Nigeria.
are struggling to hear you. You can work on your audio from your end, if you can work on your audio so that we can hear you clearly. Probably just your the earpiece, you can take it off. You can take off the earpiece so that we can hear you loud and clear. Yes, like you heard him, he's talking about the girls doing having this final phase of camping. Isaac, please just take off the earpiece so that we can hear you loud and clear. Okay, Isaac, you can continue now. Go ahead, Isaac.
Hello, Emmanuel. Can you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. The compliments of the season, and thank you for having me again on. But on the sport program, which is very interesting, and it shows that, as I've always commended your outfit for always promoting sport that's beyond football. This time I'm not talking about cricket, giving exposure, giving popularity to the female junior yellow greens who are going all the way to represent Nigeria at the World Cup. And I'm also very impressed with the fact that these ladies have been prepared by a coach from a country that is performing better in sport than Nigeria, and with an assistant who is a Nigerian who has seen it all in cricket. So it shows that we are on the right path. I'm, however, worried with our group, South Africa, New Zealand. You know that these are powerhouses. But thank God we are starting with Samoa. So if we can get our hearts right against Samoa and get positive result against Samoa, that should be able to motivate these girls to see what they can get out of New Zealand and South Africa.
Okay, let's see if they can get out of that group. Is Group C. Their first game is against Samoa before taking on New Zealand 2 days later, and then South Africa will be the last game. And this is a very tall order. Well, let's see what the girls can do during the qualifiers. They were exceptional. They had to beat the teams like Rwanda and top countries on the continent of Africa before getting to qualify. They didn't just qualify by fluke. They actually topped the qualifying series. All right, let's leave cricket. We wish them well as that camp starts today in Lagos, and we're looking forward for the best of outing in Malaysia. They will be camping the last phase in Indian. Yes, Indian was a choice by the Nigerian Cricket Federation for these girls to be to just have a feel of what the weather looks like in Malaysia, because India and Malaysia have a similar kind of weather, and at the same time India is a top country when it comes to cricket. So the choice of Indian is not bad at all. Let's leave Lagos and cricket this time around and come back to Plateau. That is just, we talk the round leader game now. That is the Nigerian Premier Football League. It was a rescheduled game between Plateau United and Enyimba, and that game ends in a barren draw at the Jos Township Stadium. Isaac, for Enyimba, it was one of their rescheduled game against Plateau United, and after 90 minutes, all were square, no goals from both sides, and it was a barren draw for Enyimba, who are struggling on the continent.
Not just only struggling on the continent, I think they should have also done better even in the league, if you ask me, Emmanuel. This is a team that on the continent, you expect them to have better players, you expect them to have better exposure, you expect them to know what it takes. But going to Plateau and playing at the Jos Township Stadium is also not a flip. Plateau United wants to also get point, and it didn't work out. They both shared the point. But for Coach Olarewaju, I think he has not been able to stamp his feet well on Enyimba. Well, I don't blame him. He's a young coach. He assisted Finidi Judge. He's also still learning on the ropes. But I think Enyimba has not lived up to expectation. Yes, we know that Enyimba cannot continue to win the league every season, but there's something you expect from the standard of a club like Enyimba, with what they have achieved in the last few seasons. But unfortunately, not just only on the continent, but also in the NPFL, they've not lived up to expectation.
Okay, well, let's see Olariwaju what is if he can turn the fortunes of the misfortunes that are the struggling of anybody around. Let's look at the table after that draw with Plateau United. It is their rescheduled game. Let's look at what both of them sharing the points. That's 1 point apiece, and as it stands. It didn't really do any good for Enyimba and also Plateau United, but I think even a point is better for Enyimba. Remo Stars still leads the charge at the top with 33 points. Rivers United second, the same points with Remo Stars, but goal difference separating both teams. Shooting Stars of Ibadan is third with 30 points. Enugu Rangers is fourth with 28 points. El Kanemi Warriors is fifth with 26 points, and we have Abia Warriors on the 10th with 24 points. Let's look at the flip side of the table. That is where both teams are. Rivers United, Rivers United, Enyimba and Plateau United. Now, that 1 point has pushed Enyimba to the 11th position with 23 points. Same points with Kwara, who has 23 and 2 goal difference, but Enyimba has 5. And for Plateau United, it didn't do them any good at all. It only gave them 19 points, which makes them still remaining at the drop zone. If they had won, they would have pushed Katsina United to the 17th position. But with that draw, they remain 17th. Which after 18 games and 19 points, Aqua United has 19 points, Nasarawa United 19 points, Lobby Stars, all 4 teams having 19 points, all the 4 bottom teams. And then Kwara, Atlant, Sunshine Stars, and Bendel Insurance, who themselves are struggling but has found their rhythm a little bit, winning 2 games in a stretch. Now, Isaac, if you look at the Nigerian Premier Football League table this season, the league itself has taken
yes, Emmanuel.
Can you hear me? Isaac, are you there? Okay, the league has taken a different twist this season, and we see the competitiveness. We cannot take that away from the teams. We are gradually seeing away wins and what have you, teams picking points away, picking even not even a win, but a point away. And the league gradually is getting to that standard where we want it to be. This season, we've seen the likes of Remo Stars, Plateau United, Remo Stars, Rivers United topping the table. And if you top this weekend, there's no guarantee that you might top the next weekend. So that is what the competitiveness in the league this season has brought to us, and we love what is going on in the Nigerian Premier League. It's a wake-up call that we can still do better than this, and we can also get it right. Hooliganism is one thing we are still struggling with, beating up referees or beating up fans or what have you, players. I think it's not healthy for the league, and we'll continue talking about it, preaching about it, put it at least until we don't see hooliganism, crowd violence, or whatever in our league. And also, the referees are also trying to do better, and they are taking shape. We saw what happened to some referees last season, where about 20 of them were sanctioned from the Nigerian Premier Football League, and we've seen this season also referees have been sanctioned, and it's a good thing that the NFF and the organizers of the league are trying to sanitize the league and give us the best of the best, at least so that we can also look at the Nigerian Premier Football League and rub shoulder with the likes of La Liga, EPL, German Bundesliga, the French Ligue 1, the Secunda B, the Premier Portugal League in Portugal, and what have you. Yes, that is the way to go. For Plateau United and Enyimba, it was a goalless draw. Isaac, can you hear me now?
I can hear you very well, Emmanuel.
Okay. I was asking if you look at the league generally this season. I think from last season to this season, we've seen tremendous changes.
Yes, Emmanuel, we just have to accept that, and we have to acknowledge it, and also give kudos to those who have done something positive to ensure that we have seen this tremendous progress. And what constitutes this progress? One, officiating has a bit improved, even though there are still some controversial decisions in the league. Also, we've seen more of away victories this season, Emmanuel. Even when clubs go to places where they never thought they could get points, they got points. 3 points, not just draw. So it has been an improvement. And to see the likes of Ahmed Musa and Abdullah Shehu coming back to the league, playing both home and away for Kano Pillars, and Ahmed Musa still showing example by scoring goals, it's very impressive. Yes, we still have a lot to do in terms of branding, in terms of marketing, in terms of player welfare, and in terms of officiating and facilities. But we must acknowledge the fact that we have seen some level of progress from the organization of the league. I'm very impressed, and I can tell you that it's not easy for you to predict the result of the league, because you can't see because anybody is playing at home, anybody will win. You can't see because Kano Pillars is playing at home, the Kano Pillars will win. No, it has been a league where anybody can go to anywhere and get a positive result, and that is motivating. You can, with that, get players motivated, get good players, get good technicians, and the league will be better for it.
Okay, all right. We also have Brown.
Okay, all right. We also have Brown
of Aba also coming back to play in the Nigerian Premier Football League. All right, let's quickly dash to Uyo, where the Nigerian Super Eagles team B are camping for the return leg against the Black Galaxies of Ghana. And Eguavoen, as we speak, Eguavoen backs that is the home base Eagle to beat Ghana. We are going to take that story back to back. The team is also intensifying their training in Uyo. They had since they touched down the country from Ghana after the first leg last weekend. They've continued the preparation for this game, and both teams, both sides, both coaches, players are talking tough ahead of these qualifiers. Isaac, the home base Eagles just have to get this game, in fact, get this game wrapped up and get the maximum win that Nigerian football fans wanted. A guest on this show said they should give this ticket to Nigerians as a Christmas gift.
A Christmas gift.
Well, I'm scared. It might not be the Christmas gift we are looking for. Why? History. I expect that when we went to Accra in Ghana, I know it's not easy, but I expected that we should have gotten at least score a goal, if not two. Now, don't forget that the away goal rule still plays a vital impact and criteria in who is going to make it out of these qualifiers. So if Ghana comes to Nigeria and get a 1-1 draw, a 2-2 draw, they have qualified. Having a barren draw makes us to be walking a tightrope. This time around in New York. The pressure will not be on Nigeria and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, I watched the first leg. We did very well. The defense was tight. The midfield was okay, but the striking force was nothing to write home about. I think the greatest threat we had going forward was Papa Daniel, who also had one of his wonderful shots from his wonderful left leg hit the crossbar. So that was the only major activity I saw our striking force had in that particular game. We were not so clinical at all. We didn't do well even also creating chances. So I hope Austin Eguavoen and other coaches have been able to work on these lapses. Ghana must not come to you and score. If you allow the Ghanaians to score, they were the second best team in the first leg. I watched it. But if they will be coming, I know that this is the final of finals. So we must go there and do everything possible. We must prevent them from scoring. If we allow them to score in New York, the Christmas gift will be postponed.
The Christmas gift will be postponed, but let's see how that will go on at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. That game is bid for this weekend, precisely tomorrow at that stadium, where the Super Eagles team B would be up against the Black Galaxies of Ghana. The CHAN Nations Cup will be hosted by Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Yes, it is the Nations Cup made for, it was created by CAF to also encourage local-based players, that is players that are playing their trade in their respective countries' leagues. So that is why we are having this tournament. All right, the Ghanaians stopped us twice in 2003 and then in 2009, twice they stopped us from going to this particular competition. Let's leave that particular story now and quickly go still talking about the CAF. At this time around, the 2025 AFCON. Yes, one country will be happy, but Isaac, I will not allow you to react to this because we still have the EPL to look at. As CAF confirms Tanzania qualification and nullifies Guinea's protest. Yes, there was a protest by Guinea saying that Tanzania feeded a player, an eligible player who wasn't supposed to participate during the qualifiers, but after the disciplinary committee of CAF looked into the matter, they nullify it and say that is Guinea's protest lack what we call as in Tanzania lacks consciousness, and there was not a lot of merit that they will have to go into this matter, and it was nullified. But they fined the Tanzania a fine of not being conscious of a player they were supposed to use or not to use, $50,000. That is what Tanzania will pay for that particular issue. All right, let's leave that and go straight to Europe. It was a Boxing Day action in the English Premier Football League. Yes, the two Manchester clubs, they say they are not of the best this time around. The two Manchester clubs are struggling, and it's not good for that community, for that city in London. Manchester is struggling in UK. Manchester United, Manchester City, both teams are struggling. But the story, before we look at the results and then look at the table, we'll talk about the whole scenario of the games played yesterday. Michael Eguavoen, former Manchester United player and also who played for Liverpool, Black Amorim, and Manchester United player. He says the players are not giving enough. Even the coach, is not what is expected of the coach. The players that they are seeing as former players who has also put on that red jersey and white short for the Manchester United team. And Owen is not happy at all with the players, and Ruben Amorim, a man who just took over. Isaac, Manchester United right now is not the Manchester United that Owen played for during his playing days.
A deep sigh, not of relief, but of worry for a big club like Manchester United going down the drain every season. You know, it's really unfortunate, and it's a sad commentary that a club that once made fans across the world happy has now become, an epitome of, negative football, an epitome of, bad management, an epitome of poor players. Emmanuel, we must agree with Owen that most of the players playing for Manchester United now would not have made the team of Sir Alex Ferguson. If they will, probably they will be in the third 11, and they will be playing in probably cup games. That is if they're even good enough. That is one. We have players that are not good enough. Two, the manager. No doubt, a good manager that came with a good record. However, I don't find it funny when managers want to stick their guns and insist that they will only abide by their own kind of football. If you don't have the personnel to implement your kind of football, if you don't play a form of football, the most important thing for fans is they want to get victory. So no matter how good the pattern you're bringing, if you don't have the personnel for that, it will not work. So Ruben Amorim needs to change his plan until he gets the kind of players he wants. Because he continues to complain of no lack of training, no lack of this, lack of that. What are they doing? Are they playing whenever they come for training?
Okay,
so Amorim needs to get his.
Let's see how that goes with Ruben Amorim, a man who is under fire now because he really wants the result. The players need to stand up and give their best. Let's look at the result of games played yesterday, and then we'll look at the table. The other Manchester, who is also struggling, they played a 1-1 draw with Everton at Etihad, and Erling Haaland missing a penalty in that game. Bournemouth and Crystal Palace ended on a goalless draw. Fulham, the owners of Stamford Bridge, they say it is their landlords came back, and Chelsea hasn't paid rent, and they have to defeat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 2-1. Newcastle United hammered Aston Villa 3-0 at the St. James's Park. And Nottingham Forest indeed Tottenham Hotspur went to that forest. Tottenham didn't come out of that forest alive. They lost 1-0. Southampton lost at St. Mary's 1-0 to West Ham United. And Wolves, they said it is the battle of the Wolves and the Rats. Manchester United did come back from that millennium 2-0 against Manchester United, and Liverpool defeated Leicester City after they went ahead in that earlier in that game, and it was 3-1 against Leicester City. Let's look at the table quickly because we're out of time. Let's see the table. Liverpool continue to lead with 7 points ahead of Chelsea now, who has 35 points. Liverpool has 42. Nottingham Forest moves to the 3rd position with 34 points and pushing Arsenal to the 4th position with a game in hand for Arsenal. Newcastle is 5th, 29 points. Bournemouth 6th, 29 points. Manchester City now going down to 7th with 28 points. Fulham is 8th with 28 points. And Aston Villa, Manchester City, surprisingly, with a 4-goal difference. Aston Villa is 9th with 28 points. Brighton is 10th with 25 points. The flip side of the table, that is where we have most of the big boys now. We have Tottenham Hotspur there, Brentford, West Ham United, Manchester United, Everton, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Leicester City, Ipswich Town, and Southampton. All of them, Southampton on the 20th position with 6 points. All right, before we go quickly, just this story. Halep will not take part at the Australian Open qualification series due to injury. So she has been forced out of that particular tournament, and she was given a white card to play at the Australian Open that will start on the 12th of January. All right, this is what we'll be leaving it on Touristy Sports this morning. Isaac, it was a good one having you on the show. Enjoy your Christmas and enjoy your day. It's a good one, Isaac. All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.